Hello there, and welcome to some Victoria Free. I played as Brazil just to learn how to play the game and such, and as you can see we united all of South America under the Brazilian banner, and by God, the infamy constantly through the game, I would recommend avoiding it. It tends to be, if you go over 100, one of these nations over here will just do a cut you down to size war, and if it's not Spain or Britain or France, one of these nations where you can take over one of their fellow colonies, it's nearly impossible to do a land invasion over there because all their forces are garrisoned and such, and basically the wars last about 20 years and can tank your economy. Anyway, we are first in GDP, so I managed to do pretty well with Brazil. If we look around the world, it seems that France or Germany really are the places to be, but Eastern Brazil is doing a pretty good job as well. Per capita is only 8 worldwide, which is not great. Our literacy though is pretty good, I think. Living standards again, they're at 8, and population of 5. Mostly the populations come, of course, from taking over all of this extra land, but we have had a lot of immigration through the cultures we have in our country. Of course, most are Brazilian. We don't start with this many Brazilians, so there's been lots of breeding and such. But there's also lots of people who aren't from places we've taken over, like Ukrainians, for example, Fangs. I think they're East Africa. There's a fair few. Welsh, Serbians I saw. So lots of immigration has been coming over, which is nice. Our laws here are great for that. We have multiculturalism and we have total separation, so nobody is penalized for their way of life in our country. So we've gotten lots of taxpayers. All of this South America is incorporated, so my tax base has been very high. Currently losing money at the moment because I was building a lot. I was just really trying to get number 1 in the GDP, and through spamming buildings we got there. We also have some land over here in Africa. This was a few wars, but the GDP here is very high. 15 million in South Cameroon. Niger Delta has 31 million. I think Niger Delta might actually be my highest GDP spot in the whole campaign. Come a little bit down here. What I would recommend to anybody who plays this, straight away try to colonize Oceania, because I took all of these islands without any, or not Hawaii, I took all of these islands without anybody fighting me for it, and they are great for resources and population, and the GDP here from building buildings, like 12.5 million in Vanuatu, and their population I think is only about 300,000 in the modern day, whereas this 1.74 million is males, so I think they times it by 3, that's over 5 million people. It's pretty absurd, really. Tonga. But if you don't like border gore, don't look at Australia and New Zealand, because it's bloody awful. The way I started is, of course, I went down south first, took out Uruguay and Argentina. They were supported by Denmark, which is how I took one of their colonies along here, and I started getting involved in Africa pretty early. Then after we colonized down here and managed to go up through Chile, through these areas here, and then slowly but surely took this. One of the early wars though, the Netherlands did also join, so I was able to snipe Dutch Guyana from them pretty early on. But the last 2 places I did take was British Guyana and French Guyana. French Guyana was the last. That's why I'm still actually a bit in debt here. The war itself cost me about 70 million just for this one little bit of land. I was fighting them all over Africa and all in here. It was pretty crazy. My military's never really been that big, and my navy isn't too impressive either. But it was only about halfway through the game I learned that you can do these tariffs, and I started making a lot more money through the tariffs. It was great. But I've been importing what I need. Also, these guys radical so much. They really don't like when I go to war or change the taxes in order to pay for things. They bloody hate it, actually. But yeah, I've had a great campaign. I'm thinking about doing one as RNG later, so that I can try and create a sort of Boa nation in this area. I'm sure I can colonize the clear states out this way. I can take over Transvaal or unite the two if there's a decision, take over the Zulu. I think it'd be a fun area to try and make a nation which might not be rank number 1 like I've managed to get Brazil, but try and turn them into a great power somewhere not usually home to a great power. I'm sure South America's a base lots of different players have gone through, but I haven't gone over here at all. And there's still with these these states where the rebellions pop up and you can never declare war on them again. That's an annoying bug, but it didn't affect me in my campaign, so I never lost a patch of land. Paradox has said they are going to fix it, but we'll see. Let's have a look at the country browser. We're actually ranked number 2. I'm not sure why they do this to us, but here we are. Technology, we've got basically all of that. Market, buildings. What was I looking for? I showed you my laws, government. It's pretty good stuff. I wish though that this game did have the timeline view, such as Europe Universalis 4. That would have been terrific. I'll show you through my buildings just to show exactly what is going on with what I've done. I'll just do a slow scroll in case you are interested in what I've been building here. We've always had a shortage of something because they've just been growing so rapidly. My building sector was never able to keep up, but we've done a pretty good job. We are the highest producer of oil in the world. I know that. I'll show you exactly what we have with the bloody oil rigs. We've maxed them out, I think, everywhere. Yeah, we've maxed them out everywhere. But we had Zulia, of course, the big producer, La Paz, Santa Cruz. They had some good spots. Not sure if there's a way purposely to find more, but whatever. We did pretty well. But we're not good producers of silk and electric. We always demand more because I just kept telling the buildings to use whatever made the most GDP. And so they did. But isn't it here they tell me where I am on the producing scale? Yes, number 1 producer worldwide, plus 20 prestige. Very nice. Number 1 of fabric. Number 1 of services. What about guns? Well, 5 of guns. Grain. Not too important. Furniture. Number 4. Sulfur. 8. Not the best things, but at least we got the oil. We are the oil nation. Of tobacco, of course. You can smoke your cigar while your oil rig is pumping out. Now, cloves, we always were the number 1 producer, but we never had enough anyway. It just never caught up. Gold. That's, of course, another great thing to have lots of. Lumber, though, we're not number 1, despite having all of this woodland. I know Brazil likes to go for its deforestation. I think they just had a election and they elected the guy who was destroying the Amazon at record pace. So we'll see modern day Brazil as the number 1 lumber producer perhaps again. What else we got? We good at tea. Number 2. Export that out. But trade routes, if this becomes automated, it's going to be so bloody overpowered. Because I spent so much time trying to maximize what I was getting in and getting out, and it really was a pain in the ass. You see, there's a few places I could export more oil to, and that's just really what I do. I go through and I reset this every few years and make a bit more money, but it's a good game. Victoria 3, I've already sunk in quite a lot of hours into it, and it is very, very good and very playable. There's lots missing though, which a lot of other YouTubers have pointed out. Stuff missing, it's been cut from Victoria 2, but I'm still having fun. It's very expensive, but if you have an itch to play, I'm not gonna recommend against it. I do think it is a good game. It's just so much nonsense, still. Like the colonization is bloody ugly. It'd be nice if anybody but France were to colonize. Oh, this is communist France as well, by the way. It's like Britain. This whole campaign just took this. These places became free and nobody ever united it. There's a lot of stuff that has to be ironed out before this game is perfect, but that's how the gaming industry is these days. It's not released as a finished product. It's released and then we beta test it, and then things get ironed out, or hopefully it gets ironed out. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it won't be like Imperial. It's one of the big IPs they have, Paradox, but very interested. I'm going to be playing as a Boa Nation next. I'm going to be uploading some videos of it as I go through the seasons. I'm not going to go and record every single bit of content. I think Let's Plays is way too much bloody content. I think maybe try and break it up into four shorter, updatey videos and see how it goes from there. But anyway, thank you for checking out this video here. If you have recommendations on how to play anything I perhaps would have missed, and I will see the comments and I will appreciate learning. A lot of the people in the Discord server have been saying things which has been helping me out a lot with learning. If you want to join the Discord, there is a link down below, and you can talk to the fellow people there about their campaigns. One guy played as one of these nations and became very, very good economically. It was interesting to see the screenshots. We've just been sharing the screenshots between us, everybody in the Discord there. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.